All right, this will be for the con assignment, zeros of polynomials with factoring. And it's similar to the last one we did, but we just have to factor this time. Okay, so we want to find the zeros of this polynomial. I can see we have a 3, 3, and 18 for our coefficients. Those are all divisible by 3. Okay, so first I'm going to factor out a 3. And for the x's, you take the x with the lowest exponent. So this is just x to the first power, right? Or just x. So I can factor that out as well. Okay, 3x to the third divided by 3x is just going to be x squared. Or if you want to work backwards, you can say 3x times x squared is 3x to the third. Same thing. Now 3x times what is going to be negative 3x squared? Well, that's just negative x, right? Because 3x times negative x is negative 3x squared. And finally, the last term is negative 18x. Negative 18x divided by 3x is just negative 6. Okay? So we factored out the 3x. Now we have to factor this. So we need two numbers. In front of this negative x, it's the negative 1, right? We need two numbers that multiply to negative 6 and add to negative 1. So it's either negative 2 and 3 or positive 2 and negative 3. We want it to add to negative 1. So it's going to be this right here. So we still have to rewrite. We have the 3x. We have x plus 2 and x minus 3. All right, so we broke this up and factored it, that's all. And since we're looking for the zeros, you just set this equal to 0. Okay, anything times 0 is 0. So either any of these can equal 0. If 3x equals 0, and you divide both sides by 3, x is just 0 over 3, or 0. If x plus 2 equals 0, of course, x is going to be negative 2, because negative 2 plus 2 is 0. And if x minus 3 is 0, x has to be 3, because 3 minus 3 is 0. So we're plotting 0, 3, and negative 2 on the graph. Okay? So you go to your x-axis like we did last time. X equals 0 is right there. X equals negative 2 is right here. And x equals 3 is right there. All right, we want to find the zeros of this polynomial. Okay, so we're going to have to factor this. X plus 2 we can't factor. But for this one here, I know that this has to be, since it's 2x squared, I know this has to be 2x and x, right? Because 2x times x would give us 2x squared. And for the negative 9, there's not many factors for that. Okay? It's either going to be negative 9 and 1 or negative 3 and 3. Okay? Or you can reverse it, 3 and negative 3. So let's see which one works. I'm going to try negative 3 and 3. Negative 3 and positive 3. Okay? So this, the inner outer, is negative 3x and positive 6x. Okay, this would be 6x and minus 3x. 6x minus 3x is positive 3x. That works. All right. So just set this whole thing equal to 0. All right. So if x plus 2 equals 0, x has to be negative 2. If x plus 3 equals 0, x would have to be negative 3. Right? Because negative 3 plus 3 is 0. And if we do 2x minus 3 equals 0, add 3 to both sides. 3 minus 3 is gone. 2x equals positive 3. Dividing both sides by 2, x equals 3 halves, or 1.5, right? So we need to plot those 3 points. Negative 2, negative 3, and 1.5. So go to your x-axis, negative 2, negative 3, and 1.5. All right. We want to find the zeros of this polynomial. So let's see. I think we need to use factoring by grouping here. All right. So let's see. In this part here, I can pull out an x squared, right? We're going to do this part here, and then I'm going to do this part right here. Okay, so just this part, I can't pull out a 2 because there's no 2 here, but I can pull out an x squared. X squared times what will give us 2x to the third? Well, that's just 2x, because x squared times 2x is 2x to the third. X squared times what is negative x squared? Well, that's just negative 1. All right, we got that part. Now we have a minus here in the middle. And for 8x plus 4, I'm going to factor out a 4. You know what? Let me see. Yeah, I think it's going to be messy that way. So let me see. For the minus symbol, what I'm going to do here, I'm going to keep that minus symbol with the 8x. Okay, and I'm just going to add a plus in between these two parentheses. It's the same thing. If it were negative 8x or plus negative 8x, that's the same thing. Okay, so I'm going to have a plus in between the parentheses. All right, and I have negative 8x plus 4. So I'm going to factor out a 4. 4 times what is negative 8x? Well, that's just negative 2x. 4 times what is positive 4? Well, that's just positive 1. Okay. Now, this in parentheses has to match this in parentheses, and it doesn't. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this 4, and I'm going to change it to negative 4. And then I have to change the sign on both of these. Make this positive 2x and negative 1. All right, and now it matches 2x minus 1 and 2x minus 1. That works. So on the outside of the parentheses, we have x squared minus 4 And inside the parentheses, we have 2x minus 1. All right, and if we want to find the zeros, we set that equal to 0. Okay, x squared minus 4 equals 0. Add 4 to both sides. The 4's cancel. X squared equals 4. Take the square root of both sides. And x is going to be positive 2 and negative 2. Okay, because if you put negative 2 in here and square it, that's going to equal 4. So we got this part. Now if we do 2x minus 1 equals 0, add 1 to both sides, cancels here, 2x equals 1, divide both sides by 2, the 2's cancel, and x is just 1/2, which is the same as 0.5. So we have positive 2, negative 2, and 0.5. Okay, you go to your x-axis, positive 2, negative 2, and 0.5, or 1/2. All right, so that's basically it.